What's going on, Jonathan?
Yes, tech birthdays for June 1st through the 6th.
June 1st. Why are we starting on a Tuesday today?
Yeah, we're starting a little later because it's Memorial Day weekend.
Memorial Day weekend? What?
Yeah.
And we're recording in the morning, by the way. You don't see me drinking water. I'm actually drinking some black liquid called coffee.
Some bean juice.
Did you know coffee started as a soup?
Really?
Yeah, people first treated it as a soup, and then somehow or other it transitioned over to a breakfast beverage.
All right.
Interesting fact here on our birthdays.
Cool. Yeah.
Who is our first guy?
The first guy is Todd. Crocken?
I think it's pronounced Cochrane.
Cochrane?
Yeah. He's a real person. We don't know exactly when his birth date is. We know that he was born sometime in June. Here he is on LinkedIn. I'm currently logged in. I think I'm going to connect with the guy.
Yeah.
What do you think?
We can get to know him for the first podcast.
Let's see if he accepts our connection or my connection. Yeah. Apparently, he's known for Blueberry Podcast Hall of Fame. He wrote the book on podcasting. That's essentially what he's known for. He wrote the book. I guess the book is called Raw Voice.
Yeah.
Let's look that up really quick. Raw voice casting.
I wonder what his voice sounds like.
Well, maybe we can forward the link to Todd when we publish this podcast. And maybe we can get him to give us the link to his book. I'd be interested in checking it out.
Yeah. Like what do we not know about podcasting?
We definitely do not know a lot of things. I mean, we've only been doing 15 episodes of this stuff, and there's definitely some, how would you call it? Some pitfalls that we've hit. Our original podcast started with, what was it? Almost a 2-hour long podcast, episode 1. And man, we heard the complaints pretty quick on that one. We're like, hey, this is long. It's like, it's really fun to listen to, but it's long. We're like, all right, got it. We got to break them down. We got it. And I think we've gotten better at it, where we've actually broken them out into different segments.
Mm-hmm.
We have the birthday segments that we publish separately, which is a few minutes long, anywhere between 5 to 15 minutes, depending on how many people we have and how much topics we have on that person. And then we have the tech history segment, which is also 5 to 15 minutes long, depending on how many there are. And then we get into the meat and potatoes of things, which is where you write code, through my guidance, and we're actually developing an application called Significant, which is where we're gonna eventually put not celebrity birthdays, but tech birthdays and tech history. So, and hopefully one day we become the authority on this topic.
Yeah.
Probably not, but it's wishful thinking. Cool. Well, Todd, we'd like to get a hold of that first book on podcasting. If you can send us a link to find it, and we'll be more than glad to plug it in to the podcast. And maybe your birthday. We only got June 1964. So maybe just send us the day, and next year when we re-announce these birthdays, we'll have you on there as a date.
Yeah.
Who else do we got?
Next, we have Jeff Hawkins, founder of Palm.
Jeff Hawkins. I wonder if he's related to Tony Hawkins. Is that his name? Tony Hawkins. Oh, it's Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk.
That's the skater, right?
Yeah.
And definitely they're not related. So, Jatel, how much do you remember about the Palm Pilot?
I just remember that it was just kind of like a what's it called, address book kind of thing.
Yeah, it was first the first crack at digital assistance. Here we go. Well, this is a handspring. That's the handspring.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this was the first crack at digital assistance. They call them PDAs, personal digital assistants.
Wow.
Looks like a Game Boy or something. Huh?
Yeah. Game Boy Color. The first Game Boy Color.
The first Game Boy Color. Yeah, those are handsprings. But he actually created the Palm Pilot. And this is the one I had.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny is that if you wrote in here, the machine actually had the ability to interpret to a letter, a letter that would translate to some type of font. But what was funny is that, like, for an A, so an A is like an upside down triangle with a line across it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But for this Palm to recognize the A, all you had to do was do the upside down triangle, and that's it. Just in the motion that my mouse went.
Mm-hmm.
And it would type an A on the screen. And then the numbers, it would be just like the number. Like the number 1 would just swipe down. The number 2 would just be like a Z motion.
Mm-hmm.
The number 3 would be, obviously the 3. Now the 4, all you had to do was an L. And then the 5, you just one motion, the 5. And then the 6, one motion, the 7, one motion, the 8 was the infinite circle. The 9 was the way you would normally do it. And the 0, it would just be one circle. And so those are the numbers that you had to deal with. And then the way that you created a space is you just swiped across. And you had this little stylus that you would use to write. So if you just swiped across, that would be create a space. He had a great idea. These things took off. I mean, they really that people were buying them like crazy because you had your calendars, you had your notes, you had games on there. It was like really probably a stepping stone to our phones today. With all the technology that our phones have, that was like the stepping stone. Yeah. And so, yeah, but unfortunately, once the phones came out and, you couldn't keep up with it, all the other companies, they jumped on the bandwagon and just like, let's just do something with Linux, when Google came out with their phone. Mm-hmm. And so the Symbian operating system it did well, but it didn't do everything it needed to do. It was Google and iPhone that really like took over the market. But I in my opinion, these are the guys, Palm Pilot and Handsprings were the ones that like really personal digital assistants, which is what our phone is essentially, really took off. These are the stepping stones or the launching pad, I guess we can call it. So it's kind of cool.
If they would have had a flashlight, it would have been a phone without the phone part.
Or a camera.
Oh yeah, or a camera too. They should have.
Because those didn't have cameras back then. Yeah. Cool. Well, we had a really short birthday segment for June 1st through the 6th. Not a lot of people like to be pregnant during the month of June, I guess.
Nope, that's it though.
Cool. Until next time.